Hello, everyone. I am so glad that you were able to come tonight and watch Brilliant Women Dating Up Masterclass Part 1, Why Brilliant Women Date Down. So it's been a topic of conversation for a long time in the groups that I run, and also something that I noticed in the unhealthy, toxic relationships that I had. So does anyone ever ask themselves, like, what the heck is that gorgeous guy or girl, doing with that person? You ever ask yourself that and wonder, like, what the heck is going on? Am I in like some weird universe? Like, what's happening there? Or do you ever say to yourself, is someone too good for the other person? Like, who do they think they are? They're too good for the other person. Have you ever been in a relationship where you're thinking it might not be the right fit, but you've already committed and you've been dating a while, and it's about that time in your life to get married, so you're just going to make it work? Has anyone ever noticed any of those things? Or let's throw in another one in there. Maybe they found someone who was really rugged and extra manly and all of these things that they thought were really sexy, and once they got into it, they were like, oh, I don't know. But then they kept dating them anyway. All right. Any of those things sound any familiar? Raise your hand. Give me a high five. Tell me which one of them, if not all of them, that you totally resonate with, that makes sense to you. So feel free to share at any point, anything that stands out. Make sure you give me some hearts, some likes. Feel free to share whatever your feelings are, because I'm sure that as I share these points tonight, there's going to be a lot of aha moments for people. And some people might not be very happy about hearing them either, and that's fine too. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be talked about. So hello to everyone who's coming on. Hi, Lenora. I see other people on, but I don't see their names just yet. So as you come on, make sure you say hi. I'm so glad everyone's able to come on. I know here in New York, it was a gorgeous day today. It was like almost 70 degrees in Long Island. So I was outside and enjoying the beautiful day. And I was thinking about this masterclass and the things that I was going to talk about. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to share with you 3 points, 3 things that stick out that I would like you to leave with the information about as to why people date down. So there's going to be 3 tips that I share with you. And of course, there can be so many tips. So what's going to happen is that over the next 6 weeks, this is going to be a whole series for 6 weeks talking about everything related to brilliant women dating up. So if there is a topic that you would like to hear about, please let me know in the comments. I'm going to be sharing like jam-packed all sorts of information based on what I've learned from my clients and what I've learned from my own experiences in unhealthy relationships. Because I was one of those people that dated down. I was not very good at dating up, and there's a lot of different reasons why those things are going on. So let's get started. Let's just get right in for everybody who's ready. So number 1, first point, self-esteem. Okay. I get to that's like a deep one right away. But I'm gonna explain to you why self-esteem is such a big deal. So what happens is that, let's give an example. All right. So there are 2 women, and this is Brilliant Women Dating Up. So I'm going to be talking about women the entire time. There are 2 women, and both of those women, when they are young girls, woman number 1 grows up in a family where there's a lot of support, there's a lot of communication, parents get along really well, they are able to support her in the things that she needs for herself, and she gets to a point in her life because the parents and family have talked about it, or she feels that she's ready, and she decides that she wants to date. And she has a horrible first relationship. I mean, it's terrible. She cries, he breaks her heart or she breaks her heart, and it's just a terrible relationship. And she cries and goes through whatever she needs to go through to grieve that relationship. Next relationship comes around, and maybe there are other things. They're different from the first, but there are other things that person really doesn't like about the relationship. And they're like, yeah, I don't really like those, but whatever. And then the relationship ends for whatever reason, and they cry and they mourn the end of the relationship. So now fast forward, this person's been doing this, but every single time they have dated, because they have that amazing foundation, every time they date someone, they're looking for the things that they like about that person. And then as soon as they see the things that they don't like in someone, they end the relationship. They might know that they're breaking the other person's heart. They might know they're breaking their heart, but it doesn't matter to them because they know that the person is not completely what they're looking for. And then at some point, some people who start with this healthy level right there, they very quickly figure out who it is that they want to spend their life with, if anyone at all. Some people take a little bit longer, but they don't settle. They make sure that they find the right person who is the best person for them, their best support system, their best team member. And I call team members are really important in whatever type of relationship you have in your life that you have. You need to be part of a team. So in that team, you want to make sure that your partner is someone that you can trust with everything that you need and whatever, if your feelings are about things, you want to be able to trust them and tell them everything. They should be your best friend. So this healthy person knows all of that, and they keep looking until they find that person. They don't settle because they know what they're capable of. They know what's out there. They know they deserve someone who treats them well. Okay, so that's person number one. Lady number two, she is, whatever age she's at, she thinks she's ready to date. Her parents have been arguing a lot. Maybe there is mental illness in the family. Maybe there is drug addiction in the family, alcohol abuse. Maybe there's physical abuse, sexual abuse. Who knows? But there is some kind of turmoil that is going on at the house that's underlying or right there, but maybe not everybody knows about it. Maybe this is kind of kept quiet in the house. And this girl goes on her first date with someone, and the guy's a jerk. And whatever happens, and she walks away and she cries and she's a mess and she grieves this relationship that didn't work out. And she thinks to herself, okay, what did I do wrong to make this person not like me? And so every time she starts dating, she might be looking for what she likes, but she's also wondering, what is it about me that's not working? And she's still going home to the underlying issues that are there. So all of that shame and guilt of the underlying things are still there. She hasn't learned healthy communication. She hasn't been able to improve her self-esteem. And she's looking for all the love that she's not getting at home in this other person. And she keeps blaming herself for not being the right type of partner, that there's something wrong with her. As time goes on, she ends up settling with someone who she thinks might just be the best person she could possibly get. And then she settles down with that person, gets married, and surprisingly, the relationship does not work. It is not healthy. They do not bring the best out in each other. They might have had great sex. They might have had good times, but it was not a good partner for her. So the two major differences there, both of them started out with unhealthy relationships, but the person who had the healthy foundation now continues on to date until they find the right person, knowing that it's not about them as much as finding the right person. Like, yes, they have to figure out who they are and things like that, but it's not about them changing who they are to be the right partner. It's them figuring out who's going to be the right partner for them. The unhealthy person is dating and looking and saying, hey, how can I become the partner that someone is looking for? And then as soon as someone treats them nicely, as soon as someone gives them the right attention, then bam, that's the person that they end up staying with. So self-esteem is huge. And I've seen it from elementary school to middle school to high school. And then it follows us, beautiful women, college, if we didn't go to college, trade school, whatever it is that we did. And then it keeps going from there until we make a decision to make a change. But it's our lack, our feeling of not being good enough, that we haven't been able to attract the right partner. So that's point number one. What are we thinking about that so far? This self-esteem, because this to me, I think is really important to realize. When we say to ourselves, how is that person, how did they find someone so easily? How come, we know some people, I know someone at work, she married her high school sweetheart and they're still best friends. They've been together for like 25 years, 30 years, and they get, goosebumps being around each other. They were able to figure those things out really, really early on. So, that self-esteem and growing and building on the lack of or the ability to have self-esteem, the building on either one of those things will take you in different directions when it comes to relationships. Lenora said, I'm done pleasing anyone, just be yourself. Exactly. It's time, Lenora. It definitely is. All right, so that is person number one. That is point number one. Point number two, and this is another one, so hold on to this one too. Prove that we are not better than anyone else. Okay. I grew up going to church every Sunday. That was something that my parents did. It was a very nice thing to be able to go to church every Sunday. We moved around a lot. We were able to have family wherever it is that we want. We helped everybody. We were a part of church. We were a part of all sorts of different things when it came to church. But we were big into helping the community and helping other people. And I was definitely taught, and I don't know about you, so please let me know your thoughts on this, but I was taught that men were in charge of the household, and that a woman needed to kind of like step back and let the man be in charge. And if a woman was strong or powerful, she was a bitch. I mean, that was definitely some of the stuff that I got, whether it was from family or the media or, other people around or whatever. Strong women were kind of looked down on in a lot of different ways. If there was a strong, powerful businesswoman, there was always something kind of negative about her, or, something that anything they could do to try to put her down and make her not look as good. So I definitely had this belief that men were in charge, and if I was doing too much or too outgoing or too sure of myself or any of those things, that I thought I was better than anybody. So I went to school and I, got a degree, and then I got another degree and another degree, and I have a double master's in health and education. And I really wanted to make sure that nobody thought that I was better than anybody. So to almost prove that, the men that I chose to date were men that had not gone for an education, were happy at a job where they didn't make a lot of money, and were not trying to push themselves as hard as they could. And this is not me talking down to anyone. This is just saying that I was someone who had a lot of grit and push and all these exciting things going on, and the people that I dated did not have those things. And so when you're looking for a partner, you want to have someone who is also reaching towards goals that you have. So here I was reaching for these goals, and instead of a partner that I was choosing to support me and be proud and excited about the things that I was doing, I had people that would say they were proud, but then would do things to try to diminish me, put me down, say things to me that would make me feel less than. And when it's someone that you love, you think, okay, well, it must be me. And when you've already been programmed that relationships are hard, women shouldn't be too much of themselves, men are in charge, men should be rugged and masculine, and we have, I thought that it was cool. I was really attracted to my first long-term boyfriend because he could take apart a car, and I thought that was so sexy, and, he smoked cigarettes, and it would, dangle from his lip, and there was something cute about that, even though I was not even a smoker. I smoked for a little while and quit, but there was something about it that was, rugged and manly and going against the grain, and I was more of a rule follower. But to have someone who was so different than me made it cool and exciting, and a little bit of drama and maybe a little bit against what my parents would have wanted for me. And it was almost like the more my parents said, you should date up, you should date people that are more in the same place that you are. And the more I was like, oh, no, I am not better than anyone else. I'm not better than them. I can date them. And I would almost get defensive and angry at them for telling me that I should date more. Vicky says, we dumbed ourselves down to fit society's definition of our place in the world. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the bad boy. Lenora, the bad boy. We want the bad boy. I wanted the bad boy who was staying out and having fun and going out for drinks. And, I was going to raves at the time and going out partying and having all this good time. And it was exciting and different from the church girl and the schooling and the education and the drive. And it was almost like a little bit of a break, from all the pushing and the achieving and all of those things. And it was not the right fit. It wasn't the right fit. And a lot of us do that. And then we look at it and we're like, oh, it's not the right fit. And now here is where point number 3 comes in. We realize it's not the right fit. We see that we're dating the bad boy. It's not really what we want anymore, because now we want to be a little bit more settled, whether we've gotten married or we've been dating for a little while or whatever it is. And now we're like, okay, I don't really need to do all those wild and crazy things. I just want to do normal things that I'm happy with. Now all those differences that you had are now just glaring at you. They're like, And now, like for me, where I was going to school and my ex-boyfriend was staying out till 2:00 in the morning, and one of them was like selling weed, like, I mean, all these like crazy things. And I was just like, I'm not into that. I don't need that around me. I don't want to be around any of that. And here I was associating with people that were trouble. And, and I was no longer wanting to do that. I wasn't wanting to be around people because I wanted to be talking about intellectual things. I wanted to be talking about all the cool things that I was a part of and have all these different exciting things. But when I brought the exes into that world, they were kind of lost because that's not the world they were living in. So when it came to the regular everyday things of life, they were not where I was. So instead I would try to kind of dumb myself down or not get so excited about all the things that I was doing, or, change who I was and not really shine as brightly because I didn't want to embarrass or make the man that I was with uncomfortable. And of course, some of the people that I dated, it was, you talk too much, nobody wants to hear you. So there was also that to try to bring me down. Instead of trying to come up to my level, let's bring her down to my level. A lot of men want strong, powerful women until they get them. And then once they get them, because they're intimidated and they realize they're not strong and powerful, instead of trying to support them and help their counterpart be the best version of themselves, they realize how insecure they are, and then they try to break down that strong, independent woman, that strong, brilliant, independent woman. So they will do whatever they can to bring them down. All right, so that was point number 2. That leads us right into point number 3. And point number 3 is, we don't want to admit we're wrong. Part of being, hi Susan, hi Patricia, part of being a strong, independent, brilliant, beautiful woman is that we have grit and we push and we make things happen. And if you're like me, I knew that I was choosing people that were not the right fit for me. And I had family and friends that said they're not the right fit for you. And I wanted to prove them wrong. I wanted to say, no, it's romantic. And again, society has given us, watch any Hollywood movies, listen to music that is played all the time on the radio, if anyone listens to radio anymore, Pandora or Sirius or XM, whatever it is that you're listening to right now. Think of all the songs that you're listening to, and it's all about drama and fighting for your lover, and there being big fights and then making up, and those are all things that go on. So again, there's the pre-programming that relationships are hard. You've got to work through all these things. Women are not supposed to be too strong, independent, and and sure of themselves. If not, they're bitches, and we don't want to be bitches. Which, well, fine, I'm a bitch. That's fine. But at that point, because my self-esteem was low, even though I was achieving all of these great things, because of the thoughts I already was coming into, I wasn't feeling really good about myself. And so all those things brought me to a place where I was like, this is not really the relationship that I want. But now, instead of admitting and saying to ourselves, I did the wrong thing, there's that feeling of shame that comes in. And you feel that shame in here, maybe in the chest, maybe you feel it in your head, but you feel it. And you kind of want to do anything to cover up that shame. So go back to scared little girl who started dating unhealthy guys and started thinking it was all her fault. That little girl, pretty good chance that when she was a kid, there was a lot of stuff going on that she didn't want to talk about. She didn't want to tell her teachers what was happening. She didn't want to tell her friends what was really happening at school. She wanted to keep it quiet. She didn't really know why, but she knew that other kids would look at her differently or something would happen, so that little girl did not tell anybody what was going on. And that little girl that's still inside of you is now in this unhealthy relationship where people have said that they shouldn't be with them. And we've been strong and we've been able to show everybody else how much we've grown and how different we are. But here we are still dating unhealthy, toxic men. Well, now it's almost like a game. This person that isn't right for me, I am going to now show the world that he loves me so much that he is going to change into the person that I would like him to be. I would like him to be a more supportive spouse. I would like him to be a good listener. I would like him to have a great job. I would like him to go back to college. I would like him to do all of these things. And now we're going to try to push him to do those things and support him to do those things. We're going to show him how great we can love to hopefully change him over to love us the way we want to be loved. And guess what? Strong, independent, beautiful ladies, that doesn't work. It doesn't work to try to force someone to be what they're not. Now, us brilliant women, we're really good at seeing the possibility in people. Like, ooh, I can, and that's what makes us really good at what we do. Whether we're entrepreneurs, whether we're teachers, whether we are scientists, whether we are stay-at-home moms, whatever we are, we see the possibility and we're able to kind of keep that in our mind so that we can work through and figure out what we're going to do to help whatever that is, whatever that vision is, become a reality. But the problem is we cannot do that with another human being. It's impossible. I can't take this person and be like, well, they're really great except for this, this, and this. Or I would really wish that I could take this person, put them together, but I can't, so I'm just going to pick this one. Come on, ladies. Why are we doing that to ourselves? Why are we lowering our standards? Wanting a college education for some people, wanting a certain amount of money, wanting a certain amount of lifestyle, wanting a certain type of value, wanting certain things, it's not wrong to want those things. So I'm giving you permission. It is not wrong to want those things. The wrong thing would be we're trying to get that out of someone that is not able to do that with us. They are unable to do that with us. And college education, that's because that was something that was important to me. That might not be important to you. Everyone's got their different values that are important to them. But we have to remember that we are not creating the person that we are dating. We might think to ourselves what we want, and if we're healthy, as we decide what we're looking for and we figure out all the things that we want in a healthy partner, we'll create that image of what we're looking for, and then we're able to finally date up and then find the person who's the right fit for us. And that's what I did when I was finally able to heal and start coming from dating in a healthy, healing place. I was able to look at the things that I wanted and the things that I would not deal with in any way, shape, or form. And those things I thought I wanted when I was younger were things that were off the table, not even interested. I didn't want drama. I didn't want stress. I didn't want someone who didn't have drive and vision and wanted to help people and do the things, some of the things that I wanted to do. There were things on my list that were have-tos. And once I was crystal clear on those things, I was able to date someone up from anyone else I'd ever dated before and find someone who was the right fit for me. So that's what we want for you. We want you to stop dating down. We want you to start dating up. We want you to start looking at yourself, looking at your self-esteem, look at those ideas that you've had in the past about relationships. We want you to start looking at the ideas that you've had about women and women's roles and expectations and trying to fix and change other people and trying to be a chameleon and making, and again, women, we are trained by society to try to be chameleons and make everybody happy and make everybody feel good. So even as those strong, independent, brilliant women, so many of us are so good at people pleasing. And, you know, we put ourselves on the back burner, we forget about our self-care, we forget about all that kind of stuff, but we do not focus on ourselves the way we should. We're trying so hard to make other people feel comfortable that we are dimming our shine. And that's why I created Brilliant Women Dating Up, because we need to stop dimming our shine. We need to start leveling up, showing the world how wonderful we are, and then accepting nothing less than what we are looking for. And that's what we deserve. Lenore said, people are who they are. You're not going to change them. Nope. So dating that bad boy, he's going to be that bad boy. Is that okay with you to date that or to be married to that and to have life experience with that person? You're dating someone where there's a lot of drama. Is it okay to continue to have drama throughout your relationship? And that's not for me to answer. That's for you. You have to make that decision of what you will accept and what you will not accept. So for people that are looking to date up, they don't want to keep dating down again, I want to make sure that you tune in next week where I will be giving more information about how to date up. So are there any questions from anyone? I see, there's been a good amount of people. Who on here has any questions for me that they would like to ask? I am here for you. Hey, Beth. Hello to everyone that I didn't get to say hi to. I don't know who's here. Vicky's here. Doreen is here. Doreen said we got to love ourselves first. Exactly. Doreen said sex sometimes. Heck yeah. I mean, hey, I'll be the first one to say, like, there were relationships where sex was great. Great. That's wonderful. What are you going to do the other 23 and a half hours? You got to have something to talk about. Once you get through all the fun stuff, what else is there? If you took away the sex completely, would you still be able to be in a relationship with that person? A lot of people would say no. Well, then that's not a relationship. That's a sexual relationship, which is fine if that's what both people want. But it's not a real relationship if all you have is your hormones. Your hormones and your sex organs. All that stuff together all the time. You're not making anything long-term committed and healthy when it comes to a relationship. All right, let's see what else we got here. Vicky said 5 marriages later, the common denominator was me, single for 6 years now. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Excellent. And that's really a great thing to not be looking, because then you're coming from a place of lack. Beth said she met her husband through Stephanie. Ladies, listen to her. Yes, you did. Beth definitely met her husband through me. And I was almost like, oh no, I hope it actually works out, because I don't want there to be an issue. But yeah, Beth is married to a wonderful sweetheart of a guy that would do anything for her. So Beth is very lucky to have such a kind-hearted, sweet partner. And those people exist. But we have to stop dating jerks. We have to stop dating people that aren't treating us right. And, again, we get stuck in that cycle over and over again of dating people that are unhealthy for us. So are there any questions for me? Keep your eyes out for next week's topics. Like I said, we're going to be doing this for the next 6 weeks, so into November, all the way into December. So come with questions. Please share this video with your friends, and we will see you. Oh, wait, hold on. Hi, if you don't want drama, do you leave the relationship or do you try to do something? Okay, well, I'll answer that question because it's one that people bring up a lot, is about drama. If you're early on in the relationship and the person is looking to cause drama all the time, there's always arguing, there's always fighting, there's always something going on, they're looking through your phone, they're doing all those things, end the relationship. Do not run away from that relationship. Now, if you're a long time in that relationship and they're going through your phone and they're causing drama and causing a scene, run. Still get away. Here is the issue. There's going to be times where you need to have open communication. That's what a relationship is. A healthy relationship is about hearing each other, validating each other, being a support system for each other, knowing that your job as a partner really is to support what the other person decides to do for themselves, while also letting them know what your healthy boundaries are. So those things are in there. If all you're ever doing is breaking up and getting back together and breaking up and getting back together, fighting all night long, having the police called, like whatever it is, because I've seen it. If you've had those things come, you need to get away. You're not good for each other. What happens a lot of the times is I see one person in the relationship will be the aggressor, and then they push so hard that the victim turns around and becomes the aggressor, and then the aggressor is like, see, you can be just as bad as I can. That's what happened to me. There were things that came out of me. I had anxiety attacks. That's not me. It was me for a little while. I lost my temper in ways I never thought was possible. That was me for a little while. But they were really good at making that drama and causing it so that you get so confused, you're not even sure what to do anymore. So when you're in that drama, get away from it. I would recommend getting therapy, getting whatever assistance you can. And what I said in the very beginning, create your team. As a business owner, we need a team. And a relationship, you need a team. Who are your go-tos? Who are the people that you call up? Who are the ones that you have an issue with something and you can reach out to them? Who are the ones that when you have a big joy you want to celebrate, you call them? Who are the ones that you laugh until you cry? Beth is one of my people that if I want a belly laugh till my stomach hurts and I have tears coming out of my eyes, Beth is one of the people that I can do that with. I mean, that's for sure. Like, we can be silly and have fun and just laugh and laugh and laugh. Who are the people that you have on your team to be a part of your relationship? It can't be all your partner. You've got to have your team of people that are there to support you. Beth said, sometimes the wrong person you are dating will bring out the worst in you. Oh yes. Heck yeah. Narcissism. Yeah. And it doesn't even matter what the label is. I don't, that's not something when I focus with my clients on helping them heal. It's good to know what all those words are. It's good to know sociopath, narcissist, borderline personality, psychopath, sociopath, like all of those words. They're important to know. It's important to know the cycle of abuse. All those things are really important to know. But the question I always ask my clients is, are you happy? And would you be willing to live this way for the rest of your life? If the answer is no to either one of those things, then you have to make a change. It doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter what the other person is doing. None of those things really matter. What matters is your happiness, your life. We can't get this back. So if it's something that you're looking to change your life around and to really create your best life, then you're definitely in the right place. So definitely stick around for the next, this is first week of 6. So there'll be 5 more weeks after this. So keep your eyes open. If you haven't liked this page yet, make sure you like the page Being Loved Shouldn't Hurt, which I guess is up there. So make sure you click like on Being Loved Shouldn't Hurt. Comment. I would love to hear some comments. If you comment something and you're watching this as a replay, let me know that it's the replay, and comment whatever it is. I will definitely go back and answer whatever questions that you have. And again, if there's anything that you want to hear over the next 5 weeks, please feel free to post them here and I will use them also and answer those questions. But definitely like this page, follow this page, share it with people that you know, in order for them to learn some of the tips that they can get to date up. So have a great night. Happy Wednesday, and I will see you next week. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.